right, man. I just watched the interview with Jared Big Baby Anderson out of Toledo, Ohio. July 1st, he'd be fighting Charles Martin. His previous opponent had visa issues. I heard his previous opponent was better than Charles Martin. That's what you hear, but you never really know. But he did an interview with Marcus Villegas and, shocked Villegas. And I think he was being serious, said he don't love boxing. Basically, he just in it for the money and he want to retire in 3 years. Somebody from behind the scenes was saying he only making $75K a fight. Well, yeah, fucking prospect. I mean, that's kind of good money still. You fighting 2 times a year, that's $150K. That's 6 figures. He 6'4", 6'3". I mean, shit. What he in the 5 or 10% out of probably the 5 or 3% out of men. He talked about how he wanted to raise a family and he didn't want to go away from his kids from training camp and that boxing feel like a job and that he in it for the money. And the interesting thing about it, man, and I looked, it was 22 minutes and I was like, dude, I don't feel like listening to this whole interview. So I put it off, started listening to it a little bit last night in the morning and got to work, started finishing it. And the thing about it is I appreciate his bluntness, his honesty, but I'm gonna tell you why it's a bad thing. And I did a video, I don't know if I'm gonna show it Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday. It'll be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, more than likely, unless something come up. I know we got some fights this weekend. Erickson Lubin, Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames, J-Rock, Lubin fight Luis Arias. Shout out to Milwaukee. Shout out to Coach Kevin Cunningham and Coach Cunningham, my boy Lubin out there. I mess with all 4 of those fighters. For the record, I got Lubin and I got Adames. But nonetheless, that's if Adames didn't go back home and eat crazy. And it's another fight on this weekend too. I believe it's another fight. Can't remember which one it is, but it's another fight on this weekend. So it's about to ramp up a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you about this, about that, why he shouldn't be honest, but not right now. But what I'm gonna talk about right now is I'm gonna say 90% of fighters, and I said this in Marcus Villegas' comment section. It's on Fight Hub TV. And I know that's his name, Marcus Villegas. Do a good job. 90% of fighters today, in my guesstimation, no research, just looking, they don't have to say it, but they move just like what Big Baby Anderson said. This is why they don't care about the ducking accusations. This is why they don't care to go out their way and make the best fights. I was hearing Jamil Charlo talk about how would Terrence Crawford automatically move up to 54 and be my mandatory. I heard him talk to Steven Jackson in the interview I'm finishing up he did on Showtime this week, where he said that, this is a different era. He basically was trying to say Ali couldn't survive in this era. They don't know shit about boxing, bro. They don't know how bad this era really is. They think, well, this is the way boxing is now, and this is how it is, and we make more money than they used to make. Well, that's not true. Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield all was in the hundreds of millions of dollars when they fucking retired. That's what they gross. You hear Earl Spence say, well, Earl, these fighters, they retire broke and they don't do, man, bro, that's because of financial literacy. If you never worked a job and paid an energy bill and paid rent and don't know about ownership and mortgage and interest and compound interest and Ponzi schemes, I mean, how the fuck are you going to manage somebody who can't manage a $500 a week job in an apartment for $200, $300 back in the day with millions of dollars? They got mismanaged. They took advantage of their financial illiteracy. Sugar Ray Leonard was making way more than y'all making on regular TV. $10 million he was fighting on NBC for. So money has been in boxing a while. Y'all just letting these dudes trick y'all to make y'all think y'all making money that ain't already been fucking made. But nonetheless, I don't even want to get in that argument. All right? But 90% of these fighters feel like Jared Anderson. They just in it for the money, you can tell. Because when the thirst of competition is supposed to arrive, when your bloods get pumping for a big fight, everybody should be thirsting and damn near lusting for these big fights, and they don't care if they happen or not. And they get to talking about, well, it's the business side of things, or they get to talking this, this ain't how it go no more. Nah, it ain't how it's go because y'all ain't forcing the envelope. But when somebody like Errol Spence forced the envelope, Deontay forced the envelope, or Gervonta forced the envelope, Then it happens. Just like they can force the envelope, all these dudes can tell these managers, these advisors, these promoters, this is what I want. But they don't care about the big fights. They just want a nickel and dime. You can, if you a street dealer, nickel and dime ain't gonna get you to selling by the load, or being able to be a lump sum wholesale seller. They nickel and dime themselves into their 30s, and they gonna rob themselves for having big fights because they don't give a fuck about shit about the money. Big Baby Anderson came out and said, I don't really give a fuck about the fans. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. I want to make a certain amount of money, and then I'm out. I got 3 years left till he about 26, 27 years old. He want to make money. He said it started feeling like a job when he was with Team USA, and he was trying to make the Olympics, and they started putting parameters and docking him and finding him for things, for things if he didn't reach certain goals and do certain things. And he said it really took the joy out of boxing. He said basically he don't enjoy boxing. He's enjoyed some of the relationships that he made in boxing, but he don't enjoy it. And all these other fighters, like 90% of these other fighters, they don't love boxing. They just doing it because they wasn't good enough, tall enough to play football. They weren't smart enough to do other things. They weren't great enough to do other things in other sports. And you can tell that's how they moving. There's no pride. There's no fire. There's no competition. Even when sometimes you get these big fights, it ain't no pushback. It ain't no competition. It's like when you put that dog down, that dog just gonna stay down. That dog ain't got no fight. That poodle ain't got no fight in him no more. And you can see that these fighters lack the fiery spirit now. You got other fighters begging for fights, and niggas saying, leave him alone. You got the fans going along with, oh yeah, for what? Why you gotta fight him? He shouldn't have to fight him. It's the best fight in boxing to be made. And the fans feeding off of that shit. This is why the era sucks, because these dudes don't love what they doing. They doing this because this is the best way for them to make money. They don't love to fight. If you love to fight, the fuck you sitting out the ring for a year? How you fight once or twice a year? If you love to fight, you should be fighting at least 3 times a year in this era. 4 times a year if you could. These guys don't love the sport, and Big Baby Anderson was just the first to admit it. All these guys don't love the sport. They just in it for the money. And you gonna see when these dudes get money, they gonna start dancing, they gonna start getting drunk, they gonna start losing their focus, they gonna start getting into incidents, they gonna start getting in trouble with the law, they gonna start lashing out because the goal is already met. When money is the goal and not the legacy, because you chase the legacy, the money gonna come with it. You chase the legacy, your legacy is money. Muhammad Ali was able to retire because he sold his name. How some of these dudes gonna sell their name and it ain't worth the damn in a free world? They haven't become synonymous with hip hop or pop culture. Y'all can say, well, Gervonta is the face of boxing based off what? When people say boxing, they don't think of Gervonta Davis. When people say Hall of Fame, they think of Gervonta Davis. If he didn't fight again today, he ain't a Hall of Famer. Ain't no way you can spin it. He never fought again. He still got a lot of work to do. So most of these guys feel like Anderson, and why you don't say that is because why you don't verbally say that is because now your opponent, which you probably about to knock out, probably say, man, this man don't love boxing. If I try a little bit harder, if I can hurt him, he probably gonna quit. Cause you can't do no sport like this. You can't treat this like no job. You can't treat this like no regular job. Or I gotta get up, I don't feel like doing this shit. Cause once you get that money, bruh, and he think once I make all that money, I'm gonna be able to retire, but he don't understand how the system go. I'm gonna make enough money, and hopefully, if he do want to retire and get to the pinnacle of the sport in 3 years, which that's gonna be hard to do, he do want to retire. Hopefully, he got things set up like IRA, Roth, set up. Hopefully, he invests his money in smart real estate. Hopefully, he invests his money in things and option contracts and stocks and bonds and CD, whatever else he got going on, the IRAs and all that, where his money make money for him, so he ain't got to come back to it. Because once you reach the goal is being done. What's the only goal from what he's saying that can keep him motivated is more money, is being addicted to the money. But the money can only take you so far, because once you start sleeping in silk sheets, it's hard to get up and run. It's hard to get up and do something. And he talking about, wanting to go out there and start a family at 23 years old. This is why a lot of these young motherfuckers get fucked over and divorced. Y'all watch TV, y'all see, oh, y'all have to picket fence, I got the money, it's gonna keep the bitch here and all that. That ain't gonna do nothing. Live your life, go fuck as many Spanish hoes, black women, Latinos, go travel the world, bro. Everybody want to settle down when you young, bro. So much other opportunities out here when it comes to enjoying your life. You're 23 years old. A man should not be thinking about that solely, cause a chick gonna just use that as weakness. I'm telling you, enjoy your life. You got the longevity of having kids at 82 years old. Look at Al Pacino. Enjoy your life, travel, have fun. Then when you about 28, 29, 30, you start thinking about and transitioning to that. Once you have so many women, you think you found the right woman, and it don't be, bruh. Women switch up like the Michigan weather, but when the money is the only focus, you can't stay motivated. When money is the only focus in a sport like this, where you take damage, you take punishment, it can't be, it ain't gonna work. No matter how much you treat like a bitch, how much focus you stay, that man don't love the sport. But the crazy thing about it is 90% of these prize fighters don't love it neither. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and it shows. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Check out the Box News playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.